Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube back with another video for you guys, a Dark Shadows video. This one is a continuation of my series, Here Comes the Bride. Paul Stoddard and Elizabeth Collins Stoddard. My. The first real controversial marriage. Paul Stoddard was a con artist, and Elizabeth met him at a very young age. In fact, it's sort of hinted that, well, not sort of, it is hinted that Elizabeth met Paul at about the age Carolyn sort of started having feelings for Burke. So she'd have been, what, 19, 20, perhaps, when she met Paul? Now, did they get married? That's that's the biggest question. When exactly did they get married? Because with the time, here's what gets tricky about this: the timeline. Because when we meet, when Elizabeth tells the story of Paul, she's again, they're not casting a younger version of Jen Bennett's character. They're having Jen Bennett play her character in the flashback, so she looks her age, and it's like, you I will say Carolyn's a little girl at this point. So, but we're told in the series that by Roger, and Liz doesn't deny this either, that they met when they were younger. So did they just meet and like fool around, or did they meet and get married? I gotta believe they met and began, dating and fooling around with each other, and then got married, and then she got pregnant. I gotta believe that's what happened. Now, did she did she get pregnant right away? No. I think the moment after they got married, Elizabeth wasn't pregnant yet with Paul's with Carolyn, with their daughter. That she began soon after to find out what kind of person Paul was, and it wasn't good. She saw him making shady deals. I dare say she probably followed him, and that's how she found out about Jason McGuire. And then Jason started coming around the house, and she knew right away what the hell kind of person Paul was. But she didn't want to divorce him. She didn't. Maybe pride. Maybe she felt she could make it work and make him change. I don't know. That's a question I can't really answer. Why wouldn't Elizabeth just get rid of him and divorce him? Maybe they had been married too long at that point. And again, something I want to touch upon in this video especially is there was probably no prenuptial agreement. Now, I sort of joked that the Collins family are a bit like Charlie Sheen. The biggest difference is the Collins family really take prenuptial didn't take prenuptial agreement into consideration, because if Liz did, she certainly did not use it. And in fact, when Jason leaves, he's taking money. That's what she's trying to prevent. But as he says, you can't really stop me. I've got as much right to it as you or she does. I'm married to you. And so that lets you know, hey, there was no real prenuptial agreement. And Carolyn, again, as a kid at this point, did Jason want to take the money because he found out about Victoria? No. No, I think I think Paul just wanted to take the money. So yeah, did Paul take want to take the money because he found out about Victoria? No, I don't think he found out about Victoria. I think that's something Victoria and Elizabeth and the lawyers would have kept from him, because remember how loyal the elder Gardner is to Elizabeth when it comes to his own son. He tells his own son, remember who our client is. It's Elizabeth Collins Stoddard, not Victoria Winters. And he's sort of looking at it like, okay, like what the hell does that mean? Like, I know who our client is, but well, like you're acting like it's a crime that the girl find out about her past. He doesn't say that, but he gives his dad a look sort of that. So I don't think they would have told Paul at all. I think Paul just got tired of the married life and wanted free, and he wanted money. He wanted money to go do what he wanted to go do. He was yeah, he was making deals and side deals with him and Jason, and they were getting money, but he wanted to take money from Liz, and he wanted to be gone and stay gone. And well, it didn't work out that way for old Paul. Was their marriage the biggest disaster of the Collins family? Disaster is an interesting word. I can't say it was a disaster because I mean, what really happens? We Because Victoria is given up to the Hammond family home without Paul knowing, without anybody knowing but the elder gardener, I would say. So, the old adage is if you have to tell one other person, then do so. So she probably told her lawyer or he knew about it. Um, the real damage done, I would say, is Victoria never knew that Elizabeth was her mother, never knew who her father was. And no, I don't believe Victoria's father is Paul. I just Not because Paul's a sleazebag, yeah, he is, but I just don't buy it. I don't. Did Paul murder her father in the house? I don't know. I don't know. If Paul, again, she didn't want Paul to leave with the money. She was wanting him, like, you can go, but you're not taking that money. So that is interesting there. Maybe something did happen. I don't know. I have no idea there. Because again, I can't consider anything written canon. I got to consider what I see canon. I will say this that, and we'll see in what I hear in the series. I will say this that Paul and Jason knew each other for a long time. They probably knew each other since they were kids, really, and they probably served together in the army or something. But because I think Paul really was a little older than what everyone thought. Maybe he was like in his like early 30s. I don't. That's how I see it. I know they got Dennis Patrick to play Paul Stoddard too in the series, which made sense. But because he played Jason McGuire too, was Carolyn being born the catalyst? I think whatever happened, but no, I won't say that Carolyn being born was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because remember, Paul says, me helping raise her as severance, and it's like I don't buy that he really helped raise her. I think he was here like hit and miss, but I don't buy that he helped raise her. I will say this that whatever happened prior to Carolyn being born, something happened where it was enough between Carolyn, either before Carolyn was born or sometime after she was born, that enough was enough for Liz. And whatever that something was, I'm sort of wondering if she knew for certain that Paul stole something of the Collins family and got it out the house. I'm sort of wondering if that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because we don't hear exactly. We know Paul's not an okay dude. We know he's a con artist, but did he straight up steal something, or what? Did he murder somebody? We don't know. I Here's why I say I don't think it's murder. Elizabeth was willing to call the police on her own brother for Burke. I can't see her not calling the police on her own husband. I just can't. Even I know it would be a scandal, but so would calling the police on her brother. That would be a scandal. But I I more think that Paul just stole something out of the house that was real valuable, and Liz knew what he stole. I don't know what that would have been, but and it was something that couldn't be replaced, and that's where maybe Elizabeth had enough. Their marriage, I'm sure when they were younger, they were in love head over heels. Maybe, again, lust, you know, two people lusted after each other and then one fell in love and then one really wasn't in love. you know, he liked what he was getting until he got tired of her. And plus he was a con artist. He conned his way into her heart. It's really one of the most interesting and controversial weddings in the Collins family history. Elizabeth Collins Stoddard marries con artist Paul Stoddard. Did did Jason know about Paul stealing the jewels? Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did. Well, stealing the money he was trying to steal. Yeah, Jason knew about that. Jason was going to help him unload it. Jason knew for sure. Oh my God. I sort of wonder there had to be something in the house he took. Again, I know there's the I think there's a fan theory that he murdered Victoria Winter's father. I don't buy that. Again, and I don't buy that not because Paul's a good dude or something, but because Elizabeth didn't call the cops, yet Elizabeth wanted to call the cops on her own brother. So I don't buy that. I don't buy Paul murdered somebody in the house. I don't at all. Unless unless Victoria's father isn't as innocent as we'd like to believe. Maybe he was partners with Paul. Who knows? There's a whole, when it comes to Dark Shadows, the unanswered questions, there's a whole world of possibilities that need to be explored, really. So, yep. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys have a great night.